Hello, everyone. My name is Angela Z. Davis, and I am the founder of Boss Girls Belief. I am also a domestic violence recovery strategist as well as an empowerment speaker. And in my first video, I share with you a little bit more about me, who I am, a little bit about my journey, and how Boss Girls Belief came about, and how I became a domestic violence recovery strategist. And in my second video, I share with you the type of women that I work with. First off, being young girls who young girls to help them build their self-esteem, self-confidence, speak up for themselves, and to know their self-worth. And I also work with women that are in corporate America who are businesswomen, who are entrepreneurs and CEOs who have transitioned out of an abusive relationship and are ready to begin anew. And so in this relationship, I want to share with you and kind of teach a little bit about how do you know if you're really out of an abusive relationship. Sometimes you think you might be really out, but are you really out? Are you really out and done with that relationship? Well, first, I want to share with you the one way you can tell, because there's several, if you're totally out of that relationship, is that you have emotionally checked out. You're like done. You don't have those emotional feelings for them anymore. They're silly and selfish and abusive and not tolerable behavior still continues on, but your reaction is different. There's no more yelling. No more screaming, no more crying, no more tears shed over the situation. Your reaction to their foolishness is totally different. You are calm, you are collected. Yes, their behavior still bothers you, but your reaction is different. And so because of that, you have emotionally checked out of this relationship. You no longer want to be with them. So your heart has changed for this person. So emotionally, you have completely checked out from this relationship. That's how you first off, Secondly, you are not physically intimate with them at all. I mean, nothing. No hugs, no kisses, and especially not any sex. No sex, no petting, no foreplay, no intimacy, none of that. That is completely out of the question. That is not even an option. So no physical contact whatsoever. Because you know how guys are. They want a little hug and then they kind of keep you close and they want a little peck on the cheek and they try and kiss you on your lips. No, none of that. So no physical contact whatsoever. That's completely not even an option. So for one, you've emotionally checked out. Don't feel for them the same way you used to feel at all. And your reactions to them is totally different. Then secondly, you're physically not involved with them at all. No intimacy whatsoever. That's not even an option. Thirdly, you have separated your finances. You have your own stuff. You have your own bank account. You have your own finances. And that's something that really helps you build your confidence when you have your own financial situation and your own financial resources. And so they don't have access to your accounts at all. They have access to your debit cards, credit cards. All your money is completely separate from them. Now, you do want to, if you have children with this person, you do want to push for child support. So they still need to support their children because it takes two to tango. And so they still need to do their part and support that child or those children. And so you do want to push for child support. But you have definitely completely separated your finances. And they don't know nothing about your stuff. And they don't even have access to your stuff. Even with, unfortunately, when I was in that situation too, I had to kind of hide my stuff. My purse, my wallet. I had to hide that stuff because at times they can be thieves because trying to gain control or trying to sabotage situations too. And so you want to make sure that your finances are completely separate and they'll have access to anything. Passwords, none except debit cards. Your name is the only one on the account. So you have completely separated your finances. Also, they have exited the home. You are no longer living together. Whether they have exited the home or you and your children have exited the home, you are no longer living together. You have in your own space, in your own house, in your own apartment, or you have moved in with family or a female friend, not a male friend, because that causes more issues and drama. You don't need all that. So if you need to move in with a friend, let it be a female friend. And preferably somewhere that they don't know where they live, because it needs to be kind of like a safe place for you and for your friend as well too. And so, you have definitely separated your living situation at all too. And so that's really important. If they have exited the home or you have exited the home and living completely on your own, that's a good thing. And the last way you can definitely know is, there are certain boundaries that are put in place. Once they have exited the home, you want to make sure that you retain any extra keys, car keys, house keys, garage remotes. If you need to change your code on your alarm system, if you need to change the deadbolt on the front door or the doors in your home or your apartment even too, if you need to put a double chain on the doors for extra security, those certain things. So once you have completely separated and you are no longer living together, you have obtained all the extra stuff that they might have had that have access to your stuff. That's really important. So make sure you collect those extra keys and change those codes to your alarm system. If you need to change your codes to your bank accounts because they used to have your debit card and you didn't get it back, but you want to make sure you do get that back. But you can always get a new debit card just to completely keep them away from your finances. But whatever things like that too that you definitely needed, you want to make sure you collect that before they exit the home. And if you leave, you want to make sure you get that same stuff from them too. That's really, really important. If you need to put a temporary protection order or a civil protection order in place, you definitely can. Now, the difference between the two, a temporary protection order, a temporary protection order is only in place until your case is over. So if you're going through divorce or you're in child custody court, that type of thing too, the temporary protection order is just that, it's temporary. However, a civil protection order lasts for at least 5 years. And they're not supposed to come within 500 feet of you. Temporary protection order is a little bit different, but that's the difference between a temporary protection order and a civil protection order too. I've had 2 civil protection orders. Temporary, I didn't even bother with that, but civil protection order because I wanted some long term to keep them away from me. That's for sure too. And so if you need to put that in place, you definitely do. And if it's really important that if you have children with this person too and they need to have visitation, that there's certain boundaries in place for that. There's certain days and times for visitation. Phone calls and text messages should be limited to certain times before. They should not be happening before a certain time or after a certain time. My begin time was like after 8 o'clock. So if you want to talk to your child on the way to school, that's fine. But don't call me before 8 o'clock. And definitely don't call me after like 9:30. Because, you don't want to get into those late night phone calls, text messages. You want to set boundaries up for that too. Set boundaries for visitation, for phone calls, text messages, as well as even really limiting your interaction with them. Because if you have children with them, the only interaction you need to have is for those children, not for anything else too. But the cool thing is if you have no children, there's no contact whatsoever. There's no need. Because the relationship is over. Completely sever that relationship. No contact, no physical contact, no seeing them, none of that. You don't need any of that. And so that's how you know you're completely out. And so these are some things that you want to put in place and some things that let you know, I'm totally out of the situation. Emotionally, physically, financially. And I've set some boundaries in place to definitely keep a distance between me and that person. So I hope this has been helpful. If you want to talk more with me about this, I'll be glad to talk with you. Definitely visit my website, www.bossgirlsbelief. You can definitely go to the contact page on my website and input your information too and set up a time for us to talk. And I'll be glad to talk with you too. I do have some videos. Check out my YouTube channel at Angela Z. Davis Jones. Check out my YouTube channel because I do have these videos on my YouTube channel and I might just even put them on my website as well. So thank you so much for listening and for watching. And I still look forward to working with you because you never know. The life you save might be that of someone you know or that of your very own. So until then, be empowered.